Baka ikaw na-experience mo ng ma-scam. Hi everyone, this is Coach Jeric Arboleda and what I'm about to talk to you today is all about scams. Maybe you've heard this, maybe you have experienced being scammed in any way possible, especially when it comes to investments. Napakadami kasing available na investments out there. So what I would want to share to you is how I got over this and ano ba yung magandang investment para sa inyo. And here's the thing. Meron akong natutunan and for me, this is the safest investment that I know. Why? Kasi these are managed by banks. Ibig sabihin nun, itong investment na to ang nag-o-offer nito ang mga bangko. At bakit nga ba mas okay pagdating sa mga investments na ino-offer ng bangko? Baka ikaw na-experience mo ng ma-scam and masasabi mo most of the investments are not legitimate. Honestly, to tell you the truth, merong investment na legitimate. Merong investment na totoo. Merong investment na authentic. And usually, madalas narinig ko sa mga kababayan nating na OFWs, nagkakaroon ng kumpiyansa when it comes to investment kapag meron niyang Securities Exchange Commission or SEC registration. But can I tell you the truth? Hindi lang dapat yan ang inaalam nyo. So ano nga ba dapat ang hanapin mo when it comes to finding an investment? Sa lahat ng investment na nalaman ko, this investment that I'm going to share for today is a great investment, especially if you're going to start just saving, maybe a level 1 investment for you that is really secure, sobrang authentic, sobrang lehitimo, na makakapagsigurado whatever happens, your money will be there. Whatever happens, mababalik at mababalikan mo yung pera mo. So let me share you a story. Madalas ang ginagawa natin, nakikinig tayo sa mga tao na malapit sa buhay natin, like kapatid, kapamilya, kaibigan, katrabaho. And usually, dahil dito, syempre buo na yung loob natin sa kanila at magaan yung loob natin sa kanila. So ang nangyayari, we are already trusting in them. Kasi ano ba naman sila? Malamang sa malamang, iniisip natin, concerned talaga sila sa atin. And honestly, yun din talaga ang pinanggagalingan nila. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Mostly, if you're going to ask people who got scammed, madalas, yung nag-offer sa kanila, na-scam din. Meaning, yung nag-alok sa kanila, hindi din nila alam kung ano yung inaalok doon sa kaibigan nila. But for sure, meron yan resulta like kumita sila ng konti, kumita sila ng doble, or get rich quick scheme. And ang nagiging problema doon, ano na lang mangyayari sa atin? Chain na lang. Kapag na-scam ang isa, mas na-scam ang pangalawa. So unang-una, when you're finding an investment, you need to find those people who are really studying them. Just like me, I'm an investment consultant and what I do is really study how investments work. This is not bragging, this is just to inspire. And what I would want to really see is for more Filipinos, lalo na mga kababayan natin na OFWs, to have a more secure, more reliable, and safe investment. So, paano ko nalalaman at paano ko nasisigurado na safe yung mga investments? Dahil sa pangalawa, syempre, I do my due diligence. Inaaral ko muna yan. And katulad ng kinikwento ko kanina, malamang sa malamang hinahanap nyo SEC registration. So, ano ba ang SEC? This is the Securities Exchange Commission, which is a branch of the government na responsible for private companies and public companies. And what happens here, doon nagkakaroon ng registration para sila ang mag-manage, mag-mandate ng mga companies there. But what if I tell you, there are other branches of the government who are responsible for these kinds of investments, for these kind of companies. So for example, insurance companies who are tied with banks who manages their funds para makapag-invest sa mga private companies. Ang insurance companies, madaming nag-handle nan. Nakaregister yan sa SEC, Securities Exchange Commission. Nakaregister yan sa Insurance Commission, which is another branch of the government who are now responsible for handling insurance companies. And when it comes to banks who they are tied up with, meron tayong tinatawag na BSP, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. They are mandated by that. Meron tayong tinatawag na SEC ulit. They are also governed by the SEC. Meron din tayong tinatawag na PDIC, Philippine Deposit Insurance Commission. And etong mga branches ng government na to, they are the one who's responsible to make sure that those companies that we invest in are really reliable, are really safe, and as much as possible, make sure that every investment that we have are really safe and secure. And what's good about this when it comes to life insurance companies, they have a reserve. So punta muna tayo sa bangko. Ang bangko, pag tinignan mo yan sa PDIC, Philippine Deposit Insurance Commission, they have capital reserves. And ang nangyayari doon, kapag magli-liquidate yung bangko, kailangan, so meron siyang certain amount of money na pwede niyang ibalik doon sa mga nag-deposit sa kanya. Usually, depende sa laki ng bangko, around 250,000 pesos or up to 500,000 pesos. And this also goes for insurance commission. Pagdating sa mga life insurance companies, meron yung capital reserves. And gusto mo bang malaman kung magkano yung capital reserve ng life insurance companies? They need to have at least 1.3 billion pesos para lang makapag-operate. So these reserves ay reserba lang if they need to compensate those clients na mag-claim. What if sabay-sabay yan? And usually, private companies and public companies, maliit lang ang capital reserve natin. Hindi aabot ng million piso. So for me, this is one of the great reasons why this is really secure. Let me share you a story. Tatay ko kasi, nagtiwala siya sa kapamilya niya and somehow nagtry siya ng dalawang klase ng investment. It's a business, traditional business, na sana yung kapamilya niya ang mag-handle nun. And sad to say, to tell you the truth, when it comes to business, ang may pinakamalaking malasakit, yung may-ari, yung mismong nag-invest. Kasi gagawan mo ng paraan para mag-work yung business mo. And to tell you, nag-invest siya ng 1.5 million pesos in LTFRB taxi franchises para sana maging retirement fund niya, but sad to say, na mismanage. Bumili siya ng bagong Toyota Vios para sana maging taxi, but sad to say, kinailangan niyang ipasalaw. Pangalawang story naman ng father ko, nag-try siyang mag-invest in a lending company. And this lending company, they borrow capital from people and they lend it to soldiers, Philippine Army. And anong nangyari? Dahil walang capital reserve, una may payout, una kumikita, but then bigla na lang nawala. Bigla na lang hindi na sila nabayaran. Sayang yung kapital. Although at least yun, nasa almost 100,000 lang. Pero sino merong 100,000 pesos para lang mawala? So in this first tip na maghahanap ka ng investment consultant or people who are really caring for your growth, for the growth of your investments, as much as possible, siguraduhin nyo na walang dadaang pera sa kanila. If meron man, yun ay galing na sa companies, not directly to them. Bakit? Hindi natin maiiwasan na baka itakbo yung pera. And I'm really saddened to say, kahit mahal pa natin yan sa buhay. So if ever man, I just want to tell you, how do I earn from this? So every time I refer clients to my partner companies, they compensate me in the form of a commission. Si client, papadiretsuhin ko sa companies, and what happens is, yung malalaking kumpanya na to, so they are the ones who's paying me my part of bringing clients into their companies. Third reason why I can share to you that this is really a great type of investment. Etong investment na to ay invested sa stock market. So what happens is, ini-invest lang to sa mga matatatag na kumpanya. And how do we call these companies? They're called the blue chips companies. Blue chips companies, bakit? Sila yung sobrang tatatag na kumpanya dito sa Pilipinas, and even if magkaroon ng pandemic, ng COVID, ng crisis, nandyan pa rin sila. Companies like PLDT, Ayala, BDO, SM, you can find it here. And kapag ini-invest yan sa stock market, itong mga blue chips companies na to, usually they only go for the top 30 companies here in the Philippines. So iba't ibang mga bansa, may iba't ibang top 30 yan. But for this type of example, we're just going to focus on companies presently here in the Philippines. Also, let me share you this. Ang SEC, that's a really great branch of the government. Pero kapag yan lang ang nag-handle ng company, we're not too sure. Bakit? SEC handles a lot of companies. In fact, maybe more than 5,000 companies. publicly listed companies and privately listed companies alike. So paano nila may handle yung corporation na nag-invest ka? If sobrang dami nilang hawak ng mga kumpanya, baka hindi na nila ma-monitor isa-isa. And what's good about this, pagdating sa mga insurance commission, they only mandate around 500 companies. At least, pwede nilang matutukan lahat ng mga kumpanya na yun. And before makapagbuo ng insurance company dito sa Pilipinas, napakadaming proseso and you need to fill that capital reserve of at least 1.3 billion pesos. But here's the thing. Meron pa tayong tinatawag na mga pre-need insurance companies at saka mga life insurance companies. Let me share you another story. In fact, I was part of an insurance plan, tinatawag na CAP, College Allocation Plan. My parents invested for me to have an educational fund. And usually, ang naging challenge sa mga pre-need, they also don't have the capital reserves. Ang mga life insurance companies lang talaga ang may require ng ganun. And also, pagdating sa pre-need kasi, hindi nila yan ini-invest sa stock market. Usually, they invest it, depende kung paano nila gustong gamitin. Like dun sa CAP, in-invest nila yan sa mga real estate. What happened is, nagkasabay-sabay yung nag-claim ng educational fund, kaya hindi napunan yung demand ng market. Sad to say, nag-declare ng bankruptcy yung insurance company. So don't get it wrong. Again, these are pre-need companies. But life insurance companies have a very different way that makes sure your investment will be stable, will be secure. Bakit? Balikan natin ang stock market. Ang stock market kasi ay dumidepende sa mga kumpanya kung paano sila lumalago. And to tell you honestly, this investment just make sure na may mababalik at mababalikan ka, but you can't depend on this for another source of income. This won't make you rich ng sobrang bilis, but what I can honestly tell you, sigurado ako, kahit anong mangyayari, may mababalik at mababalik ka. Meron at meron kang makukuha. It's either life insurance yan or yung investment mo sa stock market kung paano nag-grow yung mga kumpanya na pinag-investan nila. Also, if you're familiar with BPI and Security Bank or other banks here in the Philippines, etong investment nito, ino-offer naman to eh. Hindi lang tayo masyadong aware dahil dati kailangan i-offer to ng harap-harapan. Kaya lang to na i-offer ngayon dahil nagkaroon ng pandemic, and now pwede na kaming mag-offer nito kahit via Zoom meeting, kahit via online meeting, kahit via video call. So ano bang klaseng investment that I can offer you that I can feel is really safe? Masisigurado mong may mababalikan ka, and whatever happens in case there are things na hindi mo inaasahan will be reliable. This is called the variable unit link. And itong variable unit link na to, in-offer din to ng mga bangko, but usually it comes from life insurance companies. Nakikipag-partner lang yung life insurance companies into banks for them to manage the funds, yung part na pag-i-invest sa stock market. So if you want to learn more how you can invest sa variable unit link, and maybe may mga tanong ka pa, go to jericarboleda.com. Ulitin ko, jericarboleda.com, especially for our balikbayan na OFWs who wants to stay for good para magkaroon ka ng retirement fund, educational fund para sa anak mo. Let me just clear, etong investment na to is really safe, reliable, and secure, but this is not another source of income. So if katulad ka ng tatay ko, nahirap maghanap ng tamang investment, and lalong-lalo na if you're an OFW balikbayan who wants to stay here in the Philippines for good and you want to prepare for your retirement fund, for the educational fund of your kids, for your life insurance, you can find me on jericarboleda.com and you can book an appointment with me so we can set up an investment strategy call. So if nagustuhan mo to, follow me to know more in Facebook, like my page with Coach Jeric or Jeric Arboleda. And if may mga tanong ka, or you're not yet ready to invest but you are already interested here, you can join our community of OFW Balikbayan, namely Balikbayan for Good. Kahit anong gusto mong mangyari, I hope you can start your investment for your way to start your retirement fund or maybe a greater future for your family. So, I'll see you soon. Thank you, and I hope you follow me to know more.